Good evening and welcome to tonight's Heroes Half Hour. I'm Hammy, this is Felcroftcast. Hope you're very well this Monday night, and we are going to be jumping in and introducing you to another type of hero, another class of hero in Heroes of the Storm in the Technical Alpha. Really enjoying it so far. Today we are introducing the Warrior. So far we have gone over the Assassin with its sneaky specialist shooting in long range, lots of damage abilities. We've gone through the Specialist itself as a little bit of a mixed up option. We've gone through the support, as a little bit of a mixed up option as well, showing healing and how different kinds of support can work there. Now we're going to jump in and we're going to cover the Warrior. So what do warriors do? Well, firstly, let's get you into the game. That beautiful slate image we've got there, Diablo, hand-in-hand combat against one of the angels in Diablo 3. Diablo himself is a warrior, so that is our sweeping segue into our episode. Okay, so first things first, let's jump into the store and have a little bit of a chat about warriors in general. So the format of our introductions is we will talk about the class and type, and then we will go ahead and show you one in a game. So what do warriors do? Well, as you can see, a trend with all of these guys, they've all got big melee weapons. Warriors get up close and personal in the face of their opposition, and they really hello beats. So warriors get up and close in the face of their opposition, and they will melee. Generally they are often quite tanky, and by tanky, if you're a new player, I mean that they can take a reasonable amount of damage. They're quite solid. They will generally sort of get in there, disrupt the enemy, take a lot of damage, soak it up, and they can deal some pretty good damage too. So if I was going to sum up a warrior in a really broad stereotype, getting close and personal, do a lot of up close and personal damage, generally with a melee weapon. You can see all of these guys, whether it's the Sonya with her double swords, Elite Tauren Chieftain with his axe guitar, his literal axe, Diablo with just his fists, because he's the Lord. He doesn't need Lord of Terror, he doesn't need anything else apart from his big fists. And then Stitches himself with his multiple hooks and everything else. So that is the warrior in a nutshell. So what is the warrior's role in a Heroes of the Storm team? Well, a warrior will get in there, get right in the thick of the action, try and disrupt. Sometimes warriors can be initiators, and by initiator I mean that they will start fights. They will carefully start the fight because they can take a lot of damage. Some warriors will have abilities that can sort of stun, that can sort of slow down and disrupt the enemy. It is quite good to have a high health, awkward character like a warrior class hero jumping in and doing damage and similar. So let's have a real quick look through the different warriors that we have at the moment and what they can do. So we have Stitches. Now Stitches, in terms of initiation, we can see that he has a hook. So if you throw out Stitches' hook, if you send Stitches into the fight first ahead of the rest of your team, he hooks a key member of the enemy team, pulls them towards you, you all jump in, have a party, and you've immediately taken out a member of the enemy team. So hook is an initiator, a good way of starting a fight. Slam, damaging enemies in an area. If you're fighting up close and personal with a melee weapon, then an area of effect slam is good. Damaging an enemy and restoring health. Stitches has a lot of health as a tanky warrior type, and he can restore his own health. Then Vile Gas, again going with this area of effect damage. Stitches can emit a cloud that damages enemies, so he gets up to people, he slams, he saps health, he can do damage but with his gas type ability as well. And then you've got a couple of different heroics there. So it's Putrid Bile that slows and damages enemies in your path. If I've hooked someone in, what better way to ensure that they don't get away than slowing them down and doing damage too? Or you can imprison an enemy inside your stomach for a short time. Stitches wants to play. I'm not entirely sure I want to play with Stitches. God bless him, he just wants to be loved. So we can see that Stitches gets in up close and personal there and has loads of abilities that do lots of good damage and slow people down. Then we have Frostmourne Hungers, and Arthas is the Lich King from Wrath of the Lich King and similar, well known in Warcraft lore. Arthas, in terms of attack, he can deal damage to a target or he can heal himself. So a nice little ability there. Rooting and damaging enemies in an area. If Arthas gets right in the middle of the fray, he can slow down his enemies and root them to make sure they can't go anywhere too. Frozen Tempest, damaging and slowing nearby enemies, draining mana while active. So a nice little mana drain there. He can get in there and disrupt enemy heroes, maybe supports or anything that requires mana. Then Frostmourne Hungers. If you activate it, his next attack does more damage and restores mana. So Arthas is draining mana, he's restoring mana. You can see this sort of warrior trait. Some warriors have these debuffs. They will will provide debuffs to all of the enemies that they get up close and personal with. Army of the Dead, ghouls that can be sacrificed to heal you, again going with the Death Coil, Death Knight theme, all those ghouls that can attack as well. And then summon Sindragosa, the Ice Dragon, slowing and damaging enemies, freezing minions and structures, which is very useful if you've got a big shooting structure, one of the forts shooting away at you, then Sindragosa can freeze that, can freeze minions, and then you can freeze and slow and damage enemy heroes too. So there is Arthas, Diablo, the Lord of Terror himself from Diablo 3-2, Diablo the First. You know the score. Shadow Charge, a knockback. So that's another, as we mentioned earlier, another engaging ability. So Diablo can swing in there and knock an enemy back. He could maybe knock them back away from their team. He could knock an enemy back towards his own team. So very, very useful there. Fire waves in all directions. If you're hitting people with melee at close range, then why not have area of effect close range damage? Good stuff there. Grabbing an enemy, slam them behind Diablo, stunning them and dealing damage. So Overpower is another engaging initiating ability. If I grab an enemy and slam them behind me, and then I follow up with a Shadow Charge, then I can slam an enemy behind me and then charge them back in the direction I choose. Nice little combo between Overpower and Shadow Charge there. Black Soulstone gathers souls by killing enemies in order to resurrect faster. Sounds good. Faster resurrection. Gets Diablo back into the fight quickly, and then his 2 heroics that you can pick one of course. Apocalypse, summon an attack on all enemy heroes on the battleground. If there's a lot of low health enemy heroes, that's going to be wiping some out, very, very annoying. You don't want to get on low health when you're playing against a Diablo, because he might just be able to wipe you all. Lightning Breath, channel spells that damages, and it can be re-aimed. So if you're shooting away at one person, you can just simply channel, re-aim, and jump straight into another. So nice options for Diablo there. All of these heroes we've seen so far in terms of warriors, you can see that they've got close range abilities that are doing a lot of damage. They've got various debuffs and they've got various initiators. So take those 3 themes for your warrior class. Tyrael, Diablo's nemesis of many times, slowing and damaging enemies in an area, teleport to the area, that's an initiate and a close range ability. Temporary shield, lovely stuff, damage an area and speed up nearby allies, so that's not only damaging but then helping your team. When you die, becoming invulnerable and explode, because why not? Why not be an exploding angel? Judgment, charging towards a target, knocking back nearby enemies. There you go. That is a nice initiator again. Targets damaged and stunned. And then Sanctification, making all of your nearby team invulnerable. It lasts for 3 seconds. Now note that that does not make you invulnerable, as I learnt to my cost. Some of you saying play Tyrael. In the second half of our episode, we will play as Tyrael. For the first half of this, in our warrior introduction, we'll play as a different warrior, just to give you guys a bit of a mix of play. ETC, the rock god himself. Power slide, dash to an area, stunning and damaging enemies hit, initiator, knockback, stun and damage nearby enemies, close range, area of effect damage, regenerating health, fair enough. After using an ability, ETC allies temporarily gain attack speed, so that's a team buff. Global leap that slows and damages enemies, initiating ability, and then stunning nearby enemies, forcing them to dance, mosh pit. Again, that's an area of effect stun. So ETC actually fulfilling 3 of our different warrior class abilities there. Sonya's an interesting one. I'm going to play as Sonya in our first game because she's free to play this week. Throws a spear, pulls herself. That's an initiator with a stun and deal damage. Large amount of damage to an enemy and a reduced amount to enemies behind, so close range damage. Damage nearby enemies and heal for percentage, which is good. Spin to win. If you play League of Legends, you know what I mean. Fury, generating Fury, that is basically if you deal or take damage, that is Sonya's version of mana instead, and using abilities gives you more movement speed. 2, leap, jump on enemies to stun and damage them, initiator again, and gaining increased damage and disable effects have reduced effect against Sonya, so that is an attacking option too. So through all of these warriors we can see a theme. We have seen initiating abilities, things that let them start fights and cause problems to the enemy team. We have seen area of effect damage and area of effect close range abilities, whether they are debuffing the enemy team or doing damage to the enemy team. They are all about getting close in and personal and fighting with their weapons. And the other thing that we have also seen is a few things such as buffs and other options like that. Buffs and debuffs would sort of kind of be option 3. So area of effect damage, initiators, and buffs and debuffs for all of these so far. Last but not least, let's have a quick look at Muradin before we jump into our game. Muradin's throwing a hammer, stunning and damaging the first enemy hit. I can run in after that. I would broadly say that's an initiating ability or damage. Lets me start a fight. Slow and damage nearby enemies, debuff. Leap to an area, dealing damage to nearby enemies, that's a nice damage. Second wind, regenerating health when not taking damage, very, very nice. That will keep Mirrodin in the fight long and hard. 2 heroics, avatar, gain health and your basic attack stuns enemies, that's quite handy. So you could be stunning anyone, so if I jump in and stun one enemy, I could then turn on avatar and stun another. And then Haymaker, a big upwards punch, heavy damage and knocking back your target. So that is Mirrodin. So that is our warrior in a nutshell. In our introduction to the warrior, we've just quickly zipped through all of the warriors available, and we have had a chat about what common themes we can see amongst their abilities and how we can identify how we might play a warrior. So our 3 themes that we saw were number 1, initiating abilities, things that let us start a fight in a good way. Number 2 was very much area of effect or close range damage and abilities, things that once we're in the middle of a fight with our big weapons will let us swing and do a big bunch of damage. And number 3, buffs and debuffs, either things that will buff ourselves or our team, maybe a few things that will debuff the enemy team too. Okay, so part 2 of our introduction to this class, we are going to jump in and we are just going to play. So I'm not the most proficient warrior, I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to play as Sonya in this episode because Sonya is our free-to-play hero. If you've not seen or if you've not gone into Heroes of the Storm yet, every week you have a bunch of free-to-play heroes, or every patch or every revolving time there'll be a bunch of free-to-play heroes that you can play, and then when you've got to a particular level you get an additional free-to-play hero. So the additional one is Lily, I think it's at level 7 you get the additional free-to-play hero. You can level up pretty quick, it's nothing too much to be worried about. So we're going to jump in as Sonya for a game, try and show you some of these warrior concepts in practice, and that will conclude after we play this game our Heroes half hour introduction to the warrior. If you're watching live, stay tuned, or even if you're on archive, have a look at the next episode, because after this we're going to do a in-depth focus on Tyrael. So we're going to continue our warriorness with a hero spotlight on Tyrael, so that should be good fun. As we are loading in, I need to make sure that I remove my sidebar. I've not been very good at removing this sidebar, so many apologies for that. But just a quick sum, so we don't have to sign off long at the end. Where can you find us? Well, we always try and stream 5 nights a week. We're starting to try and do some daytime streams as well. Not going to be streaming a couple of days later this week because we'll be on holiday, but we'll be putting out posts and catch-up videos. Normally you can find us around about 7 to 8 PM UK time. That is Monday through Friday. So you can just look in the bottom right corner, you've got the rough times, west and east coast there if you're in America. We will always tweet on @FailcraftCasts, half an hour to an hour, or as long in advance as we can before the stream goes live. So that's where you can find us, @FailcraftCasts on Twitter. Let us jump back into this game, let's get rid of that, and we are playing Dragonshire. Dragonshire being one of the different map types that we have in the Heroes of the Storm Alpha. Now, Dragonshire, you're still playing in 3 lanes, you're still trying to kill the enemy base. Sorry for the random Windows 8 sound. Ooh, that is not so good. Have I just managed to crash Heroes of the Storm? I believe I have. Quick, let's get back in. You saw nothing. We have not finished the episode just yet. The reason for that is because I've left a whole bunch of my background programs open. That's really going to annoy you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But we just need to get back into this game as soon as we can. There we go. Rejoin. Hopefully we've not been too late. Let me just check everything is well in the stream. Everything is well in the stream. The rejoin is in progress. Phew! Okay, where was I before you said rudely interrupted? So... oh no, someone saw everything. No! Okay, refocus. Dragonshire. So Dragonshire, you control 2 shrines. If you control 2 shrines in a domination style fashion, then you get to unleash the Dragon Knight. The Dragon Knight is a big hero. Let's go, let's go. Yes, we are back in time with 10 seconds to go. So the Dragon Knight, when you unleash the Dragon Knight will fly on in, and one of the human players on the team can control him to do massive damage to everything. Okay, I'm queued up with the CJ here in mid lane. What have we got? Bottom lane we have a Tassadar, who is a hard support hero. We've then got Murky, who's rather annoying, and we have, I believe, a Demon Hunter. Okay, so what am I going to go? I'm going to go something quite tanky. I'm going to go for basic attacks healing, actually. That'll be quite good. It will keep me in the field nice and long. Show you my first ability, Ancient Spear, which lets me fly on in and stun as well. So let's start farming away. I'm with Matt Lousy, so I'm going to be supporting this hero here. We've got a 2v1 in the top lane. We've got a Murky, so he's going to be specialising in siege damage. So you can see at the moment in the middle of the map here we have the dragon throne with the dragon knights. You can see at the top and the bottom of the map, if you look in the mini-map in the bottom of the thing, we can see at the bottom, oh, and there comes, oh, Kerrigan as well. We've got some nastiness there. Matt Lousy, I don't think I'm going to be able to save him. Oh, Matt Lousy as a siege tank, as a specialist, should not have been getting quite so close. Let's give him some nice friend advice. We're all friends here. Oh, I'm not going to run that far in because it's 2v1 and we need to be a little bit more careful. So that was a good example of okay, the shrines are open, so that means that people are going to start trying to fight for the top, get the shrines at the top, and try and fight for the shrines at the bottom. Right, I'm actually going to go to the bottom because I've noticed that, ooh, okay, Kerrigan's messing around in the brush. Let's quickly try and cause her some problems. Superiority, non-hero damage reduced, better basic attacks, hitting a target reduces Ancient Spear's cooldown. I think let's go for a bit of lower cooldown, that would be quite good. So Maxwell, because Maxwell I'm going to go back in. Remember that you have a health font in your base. Okay, we've got top shrine, we do not have, oh we do, we just need to, oh I need to go and get that shrine quickly. Oh no, I was just too slow. So we actually briefly held both shrines. While we held those both shrines, we could have grabbed the Dragon Knight in a very early steal. The enemy now controls both shrines. So while the enemy controls both shrines, hopefully one of our teams is going to win some of the shrines back. Oh, Kerrigan's there. I'm going to see if I can take her out. Spin to win. I'm just going to push Kerrigan away from that shrine. That's good. We've managed to recapture one shrine. So when both shrines are controlled, it can be activated, and you need to make sure that you are either well on top of the shrine if it is your shrine, or if it is your enemy shrine, you need to make sure you either recapture one of the two sort of things. Cool, so we're at the moment just laning away. It's sort of even in terms of things. So you can see Matt's going down. I'm just going to keep a bit of cover on this middle lane because Kerrigan is walking around. I'm not quite sure. I think Matt's going to help and try and take the statue at the bottom, which is absolutely fine. I'm going to try and just... Now you can see that I'm doing quite a decent job of pushing Kerrigan back here so far. I just need to talent up first. Oh, right click the statue to activate. I need to channel this. Now if Kerrigan interrupts my channel, which he's going to, then I can't activate the Dragon Knight, which is quite frustrating. Let's get a talent. Ancient Spear with more damage. Spend Fury. Okay, I'm going to have a more damaging spear. Right, so I can't take this statue because at the moment there are two of the enemy team right on top of me. So even though we have domination, we could get our Dragon Knight, we need to take these two down first. I'm just on slightly too low health, so I'm quickly going to dash back in and get some more health. Now Matt has... oh, I don't know what Matt was doing there. He shouldn't have charged in. He would have seen that I was going back to get health. Might be a new player, so we'll give him some slack. I do remember there's a whole bunch of new people in Heroes of the Storm as well, so even you may be a seasoned MOBA player, you might be brand new, but just remember, you always play as a team. I need help mid, so I'm going to call for a bit of help. Meanwhile, let's see if we can put a little bit of hurt on Arthas here. My spin to win, you can see that's healing, along with my talent that's giving me better. There is my channeled ability. Oh, I'm just not going to be able to take him down. So close. Now the thing is, if I'd gone in too far there, I would have been in a lot of trouble. I'm actually going to have to base. The spin to win, along with your healing ability as one of our talents we took earlier. Remember that of course Whirlwind also heals too, so if we stack a heal ability on top of Whirlwind, we can spin and heal ourselves up quite quick. We managed to stay in lane for quite some time there. Right, heroic ability. Do we want to go for increased damage and decrease the duration of disables, or do I want to jump to a location, deal damage and stun? I'm going to go for the initiate. I want to try and support my team. Matt is now taking the Dragon Knight. I'm going to try and mess things up a bit by seeing if we can take out Kerrigan. Kerrigan is actually ultied, and we can see that Ultralisk, which is the Kerrigan ultimate. I'm just going to take that out as soon as possible, make sure that we're not taking any damage off it. Lovely stuff. And there we go. So we now don't control both shrines again. So you can see how important it is that once you own both shrines, you have a little bit of support in the middle. All it takes is one person doing interrupts, and the way I've built it at the moment, I'm quite tanky and quite durable, but I don't really have the huge damage. I could have built Sonya a little bit more damagey. So in terms of taking a look at our warrior, you can see that I've very much gone for the team support. I've gone for some good heal, good sustain. I'm going to be pretty awkward in terms of what kind of pain I'm going to be putting on the enemy, but I'm a good initiator. I'm going to be useful in terms of staying alive, but I'm not quite so hot when it comes to, oh, okay, I'm just going to put some pressure on, see if I can try and take out. We might be able to get Arthas. Yeah, we go, and there was a nice little jump in. I ultied to jump in on Arthas with a stun, and then threw out the Ancient Spear, and we managed to pick him up. So score 1 for the good guys. I'm going to come and just help get this statue, and then providing that our siege tank doesn't die to Kerrigan in the mid lane, we might be able to do some damage here. So, can we finally get the Dragon Knight? We shall see. So in terms of focusing back on the warrior, rather, we've been talking a lot of general heroes at this point in time. In terms of focusing back on the warrior, we have seen a bunch of initiating, we've seen a bunch of healing, self-healing. Hopefully we can take out Kerrigan. Mathiel has come into the middle of the map, even though he's been taken out. Kerrigan is a little bit too dead, so I'm going to cover, hopefully, and there we go! The Dragon Knight comes out for Team Failcraft. Excellent stuff. I'm quickly going to heal more and remove snares. I'm going for a really healing orientated build, and watch the Dragon Knight now. So what we can do now is effectively clear. We should try and push as much of the enemy base down as possible. I'm in the meantime just going to cover the Ground Knight off with Illidan. Should be able to take him out. There we go. He was on way too low health to be engaging there. And now we need to see if we can get in and take some of this enemy base out. Now, we are underneath 2 turrets who are both damaging. I'm hoping that this Dragon Knight is going to be taking most of the damage. I need to make sure I don't get too close in. If too many enemy heroes come in, we could be in a bunch of trouble. But my hero is pretty tanky built. I've got a lot of self-healing. I'm feeling good about us pushing forward. Now you can see in the bottom right hand corner here, of course, a ping there. You can see that in the meantime the enemy are actually pushing our base. So I'm actually going to go and help in the bottom. Even though that we've got the Dragon Knight and we're pushing, the enemy heroes are just pushing at that bottom lane and are doing a lot of damage to us as well. Actually, even seeing the top lane, we're still fully up. So let's get Andrew. I'm going to come and help Tassadar. Tassadar, of course, playing as a support hero, is not... Oh, Andrew walls himself off. Tassadar manages to wall Andrew off. I'm going to throw out my stun. It's not going to go. I'm going to jump in and put a stun in and follow up with 2 if I get us. There we go. I was waiting for my Ancient Spear, but using my ult I managed to close the distance, and you can see, again in terms of warrior, it's a nice initiating ability there. There are 2 heroes there. Tassadar is a support, but he's not going to help me that much, so I'm just going to back off a little bit here. We don't have our towers to support us. In that 2v2, a healer against that, I'm not entirely sure how well we'll be able to do. Oh, but Malbob is low. The healer's coming in. I'm going to try and initiate. I don't manage to get in there. We'll see if we can pick up Illidan, not push too far forward. And a very nice wall there by Tassadar. Note that he managed to wall off Lily here, so Lily was not able to throw any heals. So I'm quickly going to ping here and see. Let's see if we can... Yep, and Tassadar again. Note how well Tassadar is playing as support here. He's really walling off very, very well, isolating the enemy team from several of their different people, meaning that we can pick them off. I'm not going to pick a talent while we've got Syndragosa flying around, icing the map up. I'm going to whirlwind and run. If I get my... oh, this could be a death for Team Failcraft, but look at that, and that is another use for your ultimate. It's not really how you'd want to use it, but you can see that I've just managed to run away a little bit there. So if you really, really need to, you can use your ultimates to run away. So that was a nice little Sonya play there. I'm quite happy with that one. Just going to let the chat know how close that was. And a big welcome to all of you guys in the chat. It's really good to see you live. Beat, Chris, Skywilder, Wolfie, welcome back all of you folks. What is going on here? Well, we've got a bit of action in the top lane. We've got statues alive, so we can try and grab the Dragon out again. We've busted down the enemy's centre to a good degree, but you can see the enemy's actually taken down our top lane as well. I'm actually just going to go and start farming a bit here. I'm going to try and help... oh, actually no, tell a lie. I'm going to try and help Murky. The reason I'm trying to help Murky. That's now Murky, remember, is very low health and he's a siege hero, so his job is to. There we go. I managed to save Murky for another day. Right, finally time to take that talent on. Slower enemy basic attacks. Ancient Spirit always pulls. Interesting. When duration is doubled, abilities giving more movement speed or activate to gain a speed. Well, I quite like pulling people back to me. So instead of pulling me to them, I'm going to pull them to me. And I'm also going to support more Murky while we have the opportunity to just take down this enemy base. There we go. Zeldeo, the enemy Demon Hunter, is back in position. I can just push forward and start doing some spin to win. Note that the enemy Demon Hunter I can then pull forward. I'm reasonably well health, but that Demon Hunter can still cut me down in a lot of hurry. Now we've got a healer backing up that Demon Hunter, it's time for me to pull back. In the meantime, if we have a quick look at the team, we've been doing very well in terms of player kills. Our Valor has been doing some exceptional work there. With the new underdog mechanic, the enemy team can get levels back, but what they should do is farm minions or try and farm buildings. What they should not be doing is trying to get engaged in too much PvP. I'm going to try and pick up the Dragon Knight, and maybe we can show you guys from a first person perspective. Oh, we've got the Dragon Knight, excellent. What the Dragon Knight can do, two abilities. We have a W, which is just a big fire breath as far as I recall. A Flame Breath is a Q, and then Savage Charge, you can charge, knock them back and do damage, but I need some support, otherwise I'm not going to be doing very much. Oh, there's 4 of them and there's 1 of me. Right, there's Fire Breath. Now you can see I did not manage to do much there. There goes the Dragon Knight. I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm going to run away. There we go. So that was a not particularly useful Dragon Knight there. It would have been good with a bit more backup from my team. So warrior wise, you can see that as we've been talenting up after Dragon Knight. Yeah, Pokemon have to win. Dragon Knight. I may as well just call it Dragon Knight. It does kind of look like Dragonite while we're waiting for the 28 seconds to respawn. There's no Dragonite on the statue. He's just collapsed, all dead somewhere in the middle of the map. Let's have a look at what's going on here. Well, the enemy team are just pushing forward. Our team in the meantime are also pushing forward with some siege minions. We need a bit more defence. We can see that the enemy have got through our first line. We've got through actually all of their first line now, so we are just about ahead, but not fully. So it's going to be a little bit touch and go here. The enemies are coming back, so I'm going to warn them, danger. They are coming back, so care from behind. The last thing we want is those guys to be tapped on the shoulder from behind, but we can see actually they've all just hearthstoned back. I'm quickly here just going to do a little bit of clearance, clear a bit of the lanes. Well played by our heroes here. They are picking up a bunch of mercenary camps. We don't really talk much about mercenary camps, but you kill them, you get mercenary minions that help you start killing everything around. Do I want to resurrect on death? That would be quite nice. Faster resurrects, basic attacks chain, and Ariat crater leaves an impassable crater after 4 seconds. That really will help me get away. And it could also help me split up enemy minions and enemy heroes. Let's go for Ariat crater and see exactly what that does. Let's mount up to start with, and we should all push in one place. So in terms of warrior, we've not really had any massive team fights in this match, but you can see that when we have been engaging, we've been engaging pretty well. We've been trying to use the various different warrior abilities to get up close and personal, really disrupt the enemy team, stun. You've also seen me use them to run away in a few situations as well. Fight going on up there, I'm thinking they're going to take... Okay, let's get stuck in. So we really need to take the healer. If we're going to be taking one of these guys, we need to take the healer. The reason for that is simply kill the healer, then the healer is going to do other things. Right, Mutty's dead, so I'm going to run away. Ariat crater there. So we saw Ariat crater, but the impassable crater is not going to help me in terms of the fact that I get stuck inside it. That's no good. Let's see if we can go for that demon hunter. Oh, I did not want to run into here. I'm going to run. But we've got the Dragon Knights. We need to back up the Dragon Knight, hopefully. I'm hoping these two are going to run down. I've Of course, if you've seen that the Dragonite is left on its own, as you saw with me and the Dragonite, it's just going to get binned. So as solid and tanky as my warrior class is, I'm not going to be surviving if I throw myself in that kind of fashion. Good, now we've got 3 of our team of the Dragonite. We should be able to get Kerrigan down. Kerrigan is down and we have a hero advantage. However, 2 of our team are down. That's not quite so good as well. I'm hoping that we're going to get some of the enemy team down here. Malthael, our Demon Hunter, is running and running. We should probably take ET Ground War. Malthael should not get too close in. Now our Dragonite can try and take out the Demon Hunter, or we can try and take out the tower. But we've not really, even though we've had the last 2 Dragonites, not managed to push forward really too far. There we go, Matt Lousy loses Dragonite, and because he's a siege tank, he's going to die. There we go. Nice little vaults to close the distance and seal the deal. I use XSplit. Question from the chat. What do you use to stream? XSplit seems to be working okay. I mean, my connection, just so you know, is not a fantastic up in terms of the upload speed up, but it seems to be going okay in terms of down. So for streaming, you need a good up connection as well. You can have a really good computer. You can have a fabulous sort of everything. I use Livecast, so I do it a little bit customised in terms of the mode on XSplit. But OBS is very good. You can absolutely use OBS. So we are waiting for a respawn camp there, working for a respawn camp here, may as well get some mercenaries. So I'm just going to ping to my team, signal some danger there. What we really need, we've got 2 mercenary camps, lovely stuff. But what we all really need to do, we need to team up and push one lane. Because at the moment we're kind of just a bit all over the place. So the team play bit here is going to be important. I'm going to team up with Malthael. These guys are... Ooh, okay, let's see what's going on. Murky, we're going to dash in the back. I'm not entirely sure what our Murky is going to do. Right, let's jump in, get that damage done quick. Nice, 1 down. Can we do anything else? Let's see if we can get Graggy down as well. It's 2 down. No, I'm not going to be able to take out that Demon Hunter. Okay, now that was not the greatest team fight, although we went 2-2. We ended up going 3-2 because we didn't all go together. Muta, I don't think Tassadar is going to be able to take him either. Right, let's have a look at lanes. Time for a little bit of old leadership here. What are we going to do? I think we need to push mids. Oh, we should push bot, I think. Bot. All together and push bot. Deny the DK. DK! Death Knight! So warrior wise, we've really just been commentating general style now, but we've been building Sonya in kind of a relatively tanky fashion. So we took basic attacks healing, we didn't go for the more damage related trials, although maximum health every level could have also been good for being tanky. Hitting a target, reducing spears cooldown for engagements, poison spear, more damage with the spear. Okay, that was probably a mischoose. I would have probably gone for seismic slam or fury to gain health. I've got a Dragon Knight, so we need to defend mid. Whoa, that was quite a punt. That's one of the Dragon Knight's abilities there, working us back. So this is quite a good play. You can see that they've teamed up, and even though we might be able to get Kerrigan, I need to get out of the way now. We still need to get this Dragon Knight out of the way, even if we get all of the enemy heroes. So they've actually managed to intrude further into our base now than we have into theirs. Kerrigan is out of the way. But Malthael is quite low. We've just got healing. Is he actually healing up the Dragon Knight? Right, let's get back out there. No time to fully heal. Storm's going down from Tassadar. They managed to push their way onto the base. This is not over until it's over. Because their Dragon Knight is going to go down. We should be able to take 2 of them out as well. Demon Hunters managed to nicely tumble away, and they've mounted up and got away. So all we need to do is take the Dragon Knight, and then we need to push bot. We have a man advantage. So warrior wise, I'll just quickly finish off what we're going through build wise. We took leap so that we can initiate more. Whirlwind heals more and removes snares. We could have gone for shield for additional tanking. I used broadcaster, sorry, that's what I meant. Could have also gone for slows. Anxious Spear pulling was more of an initiating option. Whirlwind doubling would have given me even more healing. We've got a camp there. Right, let's just get all focused in and see if we can get a bit of a win going. Okay, I'm now hoping that we've got a man advantage, our team can push forwards. If we all went bottom, we'd have a very good chance of winning now because they're not going to respawn for a little bit. I'm being that guy is just pinging a lot. Our Tassadar here very, very good at using shields, it has to be said. I'm tanking now, this is a little bit dangerous. I'm going to see if I can help just in my dying breaths take out a few more enemy heroes. I managed to get Kerrigan down, but our enemy can actually take a Dragon Knight. If we don't manage to grab one of those, if we don't manage to grab one of those bases, then they're going to grab a Dragon Knight very, very quickly. This game is actually going quite long. I do apologise for this. We'll see if we still have time to do a Tyrael game afterwards. Oh, where is everyone? I don't think they're going to quite have enough time to win, but it will be close. There we go. And at least we have Murky out, who's happily doing some severe damage to Kerrigan. There we go. If we all push bottom, we should be in a good position. So, two of them are down for 39 seconds. Their enemy core is at such low health. Can we finally win this game? Oh, come on, you've got to be able to finish him off. There we go. Kerrigan is down, but at what cost? Yeah, it's going to be very, very hard to catch up with old Graggle now. We can try. There's a slow, and that slow may make all the difference. Come on, guys. This game is really dragging on now. We are ahead just, but we just need to play oh so carefully. Now the correct play here is to pick off Graggle, and the reason for that is because he's just going to heal them all up. If Murky's going to be able to jump in and do it for us. You just need to charge that core, but we're not going to be able to charge the core. At least we do have a Dragon Knight. Core! Let's see if he can do it. No, the core is at too high a health now. Oh! Good game. I stand corrected. That is victory for us. Nice one. So, a win for the good guys. Woo. Okie dokie, so that concludes our little snapshot of insight into Warrior. So what we did was look at a bunch of different Warrior classes, a different bunch of Warrior heroes and Heroes of the Storm, had a brief bit of a chat looking through those warriors to how we could see different kinds of Warrior jumping through, what kind of abilities they shared. So we said that they all shared some kind of engage or initiate ability, they all shared some kind of area of effect or sort of close range damage ability, and they all shared a sense of having buffs and debuffs as well, of some form or another. We then jumped into a game. We used Sonya, the barbarian from Diablo, as our warrior example, and we jumped in and had a look at how she played out through the course of the game. We managed to get in some good initiates with our spear ability. We managed to run away a few times with our other abilities, and we generally did a bit of damage, scored a few kills and similar as well. So pretty happy stuff. We've managed to unlock hero quests too, so look forward to having a look at those. And that is level 10 for us. 3 takedowns, a few mechanics, feel like that was a good game. So thank you so much for tuning in to this introduction to the Warrior. If you're live, don't go away. We're going to go offline temporarily and then come back online to do a more in-depth look at Tyrael as a Warrior hero. If you're on YouTube, please do check out our other stuff on youtube.com/Felcroftcasts. You can see in this sidebar. If you're seeing on YouTube, also come and join us in live, twitch.tv/Felcroftcasts, 7 to 8 p.m. ish UK time. We'll tweet on @Felcroftcasts an hour to half an hour before the stream goes live, Monday through Friday. Other place you can find us, felcroft.org is the website. You can find news on various Blizzard games, other video games we enjoy there, some new player guides and all other kinds of things. So thank you so much for watching. If you're on YouTube, check out some of our other stuff. If you're on Twitch, don't go away. We're going to go offline, come back online again and kick off another episode after a quick break. Thanks so much for tuning into Felcroft Casts.